According to my instruction, Nanda Maharaj and the cowherd men called in learned Brahmins and began to worship Govardhan Hill by chanting Vedic hymns and offering foodstuffs. The inhabitants of Vrindavan assembled together, decorated their cows, and gave them grass. Keeping the cows in front, they began to walk around Govardhan Hill. The gopis, or milkmaids, also dressed themselves very luxuriantly and sat on bull-driven carts, chanting the glories of my pastimes. Assembled there to act as priests for Govardhan Puja, the Brahmins offered their blessings to the cowherd men and their wives, the gopis. When everything was complete, I assumed a great transcendental form and declared to the inhabitants of Vrindavan that I myself was Govardhan Hill, in order to convince the devotees that Govardhan Hill and I are identical. Then I began to eat all the food offered there. The identity of me and Govardhan Hill is still honored, and great devotees take rocks from Govardhan Hill and worship them exactly as they worship the statue deity of me in the temples. Devotees therefore collect small rocks or pebbles from Govardhan Hill and worship them at home, because this worship is as good as deity worship. This huge form of me, which began to eat the offerings, was separately constituted, and I myself, along with the other inhabitants of Vrindavan, began to offer obeisances to the deity, as well as to Govardhan Hill. In offering obeisances to the huge form of myself and Govardhan Hill, I declared,
"Just see how Govardhan Hill has assumed this huge form and is favoring us by accepting all of the offerings. One who neglects the worship of Govardhan Puja, as I am personally conducting it, will not be happy. There are many snakes on Govardhan Hill, and persons neglecting the prescribed duty of Govardhan Puja will be bitten by these snakes and killed. In order to assure the good fortune of the cows and themselves, all people of Vrindavan near Govardhan must worship the hill, as prescribed by me."
Thus, performing the Govardhan Puja sacrifice, all the inhabitants of Vrindavan followed my instructions, and afterwards they returned to their respective homes. When Indra understood that I had stopped the sacrifice that was about to be offered by the cowherd men in Vrindavan, he became angry. He vented his anger upon the inhabitants of Vrindavan, although Indra knew perfectly well that I was personally protecting them. As the director of the different kinds of clouds, Indra called for the Samvartak. This cloud is invited when there is need to devastate the whole cosmic manifestation. The Samvartak was ordered by Indra to go over Vrindavan and flood the whole area extensively. Demoniacally, Indra thought himself to be the all-powerful Supreme Personality. When demons become very powerful, they defy me, the Supreme Controller. Indra, though not a demon, was puffed up by his material position, and he wanted to challenge my controllership. He thought himself, at least for the time being, as powerful as I. So Indra said,
"Just see the impudence of the inhabitants of Vrindavan. They are simply inhabitants of the forest, but being infatuated with their little friend Krishna, who is nothing but an ordinary human being, they have dared defy the demigods."
I have declared in the Bhagavad Gita that the worshippers of the demigods are not very intelligent. I have also declared that one has to give up all kinds of worship and simply concentrate his consciousness on me. My invoking the anger of Indra and later on chastising him is a clear indication to my devotees that those who are engaged in consciousness of me have no need to worship any demigod, even if it is found that the demigod has become angry. For I, Krishna, give my devotees all protection, and they should completely depend on my mercy.